Hello, and welcome to another week of our social justice book club. We are getting so close to Christmas now. As you know, if you've been following along, this month, this December 2021, we are going through different holidays or festivals that are celebrated throughout the month of December. In addition to celebrating and reading about non Christmas ones, we're actually going to be doing two books that are Christmas related in the way that we celebrated here in the US and Southern California. But these books are going to be they're going to have a little bit of a twist in them. So today's book is about a little girl in Mexico who is celebrating or getting ready to celebrate Christmas. And so we want to make sure that this time is spent reading about, learning about different people's experiences. It's important, no matter how old or how young we are, that we learn about just other people around us, and that there are many people around the world that don't have the same life, the same lifestyle, the same upbringing, the same traditions than we do. And so we become better, whole, more empathetic people when we can learn about different experiences that are had around the world. There's so much that could come from that learning, from that just listening to the stories and to appreciating those that share that with us. So today's story I'm really excited to share is called Home for Navidad. There will be a little bit of Spanish and English mixed in here. And it's written by Harriet Ziefert with paintings by Santiago Cohen. Let's get started with our book. Quick little shout out to our local library. We most of our books, if they are not purchased, maybe once a month we purchase a book, but all others are checked out from our local library. And so we really love to support local libraries. It's just a really great sustainable practice so that there isn't so much having to get printed and use. This is a great way to read lots of different books without having to have a bunch of books in your home. So we hope that you access your local library or your school library if you have one that you can go to there. Let's start with our story. Home for Navidad. My name is Rosa, and I am 10. I just woke up in the dark, and my grandmother is already in the yard. Everyone else calls her Doña Juanita, but to me, she is Abuela. So we see her waking up, looking outside her window, and there is Abuela feeding the chickens and the pigs, tending to her home. When I open my eyes, the sound of her metate grinding corn is what I hear. Abuela is making tamales and atole for breakfast. I wish I could stay in my bed a little longer, but I hear her calling, Arriba, Rosita, que ya amaneció. Get up, Rosa, the sun is rising. So we see her wanting to stay a little longer in bed. We see her getting ready. There's someone cooking. After breakfast, I walk up the road with my little brother, Juan. The field boss is handing out big burlap sacks. Ándale, he's yelling, get a move on. Usually, I go to the market with Abuela and other women, but today I wanted to pick corn with my tío Pancho, my uncle. Abuela gave me permission to go to the fields with him until it was time for school. I stayed close to tío Pancho, who once crossed the border to work in an orange grove in California. He came back with money to help Abuela pay for our house. So we see her here with her uncle. And see the farmers with the corn. The boss sends us to the biggest field. We're lucky that there's an early morning breeze. By 11 o'clock, when my brother Juan and I leave for school with the rest of the niños, the heat will be terrible. But the men will work until it's almost dark. Stick with me, says Tio Pancho. I'll get the ears that are up high, and you get the ones that are down low. Now that we're alone, I ask him, is Mama coming soon? Uncle Pancho says, so that's why you're here today. You wanted to ask me when your Mama is coming back. See, she's been gone for so long. 3 whole years. I haven't seen Mama since my 7th birthday. I need to see her. Tio Pancho agrees. It's been long. But he adds, when I talked to her on the phone, she said that she's working extra, cleaning houses so that she can come home for Navidad. Tio Pancho and I work quietly. The sun is up and the fields are getting hotter and hotter. My hands are starting to hurt. Tio Pancho knows what to do to make me feel better. Let's sing, he says. And before you know it, it will be time for school. And so we sing. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. Ay, 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 sing and don't cry, because singing, my darling, makes your heart glad. They look like they're having fun singing. When the pickup truck comes, all the niños line up. The dirt roads are bumpy, but the ride to school is short. I decided not to tell Juanito, my brother, what Tio Pancho said. I want to keep it a secret. A secret just for me, Rosa. Senora Garcia's math lesson makes me think of Mama. She asks, if a man saves 200 pesos every week, how many weeks will it be until he can buy a plane ticket for 3,000 pesos? I know Mama sends dólares to Abuela. I want her to stay in Santa Catarina after Navidad, but I worry that if she does, we won't have enough money. But I'd rather have Mama than money. When I get home from school, I go to the river with Abuela to wash clothes. I don't like scrubbing, but I like to rinse the clothes until the soap's all out. Sometimes I pretend to be busy, but I'm really trying to hear what my grandmother's friends are talking about. I hear Nueva York and I lean over to listen. Grandma is saying, it's expensive to live in Nueva York, where Blanca works, so she rents a room in the Bronx. But not for long, I say to myself. When we get home, a letter is lying on the floor. I recognize the stamp from Los Estados Unidos. The letter says, Querida Rosa, I hurt my back moving furniture and had to go to the doctor. I was worried I couldn't get to Santa Catarina for Navidad, but the doctor says I'll be okay. I saved enough money for a plane ticket. Now I'm working hard to have a little extra, then I'm going to buy the ticket. One way to Mexico City. I hope you remember me with the same love that I remember you. Muchos besos, Mama Blanca. P.S. It's only 10 weeks to Christmas. What should I bring you? Sneakers? Earrings? Magazines? Mama is coming, I shout. Mama's really coming for Navidad and she's going to stay in Santa Catarina. Don't count your chickens, says Abuela. It's still a long way off, and right now I need you to help me prepare dinner. You know Pancho doesn't like to wait. Tío Pancho comes home with more good news. The corn crop has been muy grande and there will be extra work and extra pay for everyone. Does that mean when Mama comes home from New York City, she won't have to go back? That is our hope, says Tío Pancho, but if we need extra money, I will go to California to work on the farm and your mama can stay here with you and Juan. After dinner, I write Mama a letter. Dear Mama, school is good. I'm learning to solve word problems in math. I know enough English to pick out lots of the words in the magazines you sent me. Yes, I want you to bring more magazines when you come back. And earrings too, please. You've been gone for 3 whole years, and I'm afraid you won't recognize me when you get here. I will be good, and I promise not to make any extra work or trouble for Abuela. I miss you. Muchos besos, Rosa. Abuela reminds me that it is time for bed. For once, I have a good dream. Looks like she's flying over the house. Some chickens down there. It is finally Navidad, a day for miracles, and I am in the market. It is covered with people and all kinds of dogs. There's lots of food. Enchiladas, quesadillas, tamales, and lots of sweets. Flan, ponche, and dulces, all to share for Navidad. The sky is exploding with fireworks, but the dogs are not scared and neither am I. We're used to the noise of Navidad. A woman comes towards me. She is taller and prettier than all the other madres. And she says, Rosa, I am here to stay. So we see Rosa and her mom right here. The end. Home for Navidad is beautiful and it's hard to read sometimes. In this story, Rosa is 10 years old and it's been 3 years since she's been able to see her mom. 3 years that she didn't get to share all of the good things and all of the difficult things in her life. And to me, it's important to read these books because these are very real stories happening right now, every day. We know that there are many families that choose to move to other countries to earn money or to do something better for their life, for their families, to help their families in other countries. And so as we get wrapped up in the joy of seeing our own families and celebrating with them, I hope that we can also have a heart for all of those who don't get to have the same celebrations. I hope that we can remember how difficult these days can be for some people and that we can be sympathetic and just send them love because we don't know who's dealing with these types of situations. I hope that as you are celebrating, as you are hugging your family, your parents, your loved ones, as you're opening your gifts, that you can also send some love, send some prayers to all those who don't get to have the same exact memories, the same safe place to be every day, in the comfort of being around those they love. So thank you for joining us today. We are so looking forward to getting ready for Christmas because we know that is a joyful time. So we hope that you will join us again next week as we read another book on Christmas and continue our theme on holidays around the world in winter. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you all again soon. Bye-bye.